everybody, it's Pajama Life with our review of Red 1, The Piano Lesson, and Dune Prophecy. Let's get started with Dune and Red 1.
Last night, Red 1, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted.
Breach! Someone took Nick.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the best tracker in the world.
The guy's a legend.
You can't trust this guy. He's on the list.
You don't mean...
Yes, that list. NL4.
Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister?
Grab a car.
For what?
How did...
I adjusted it to reality.
And does that...
No, it doesn't work on everything. No, you can't try it. No, you can't drive. No more questions. Now get in. There is much in here that is not of the natural world.
What are they doing?
They're playing crappish flop.
Interesting. My turn!
Oh my God.
Hey everybody, it's Pajama and Pajama Life, and we are reviewing Red 1, The Piano Lesson, and Dune Prophecy. I couldn't do it without my buddies beside me. Hey, welcome back. Patrick, say hey to the people.
Hey everybody, glad to be back. Good stuff to talk about this week.
And on my right is this guy. David, say hey to the people.
Gobble, gobble, everybody. Hope you've had a great turkey day. Glad to talk to you and to see if these shows are fresh or foul. Keeping in the
And
mood.
I hope you got the itis from all that good Thanksgiving dinner. And let's start off with Red 1. David, what did you think of Red 1?
Well, it's not Rogue One, which every time I say the title of this movie, I think of that Star Wars film. All kidding aside, this was surprisingly fun. I thought they did a nice job, seriously, with the pieces. I loved, Red 1, kind of like the Secret Service thing. I thought The Rock was good. The biggest takeaway for me in this, I think, surprisingly fun Christmas movie is, man, does Chris Evans really want to get away from his Captain America persona? From the beard to the really annoying villains. Yeah, he is just doing his best not to be pigeonholed as America's great hero, which, he's making money, whatever. I kind of like him still as Captain America. I'm not going to lie. But this was a fun movie. It was neat to see. Lucy Liu has a small role, but does a nice job. Fun movie. I recommend it to folks.
Me too. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was surprised. The Rock, he always surprises me. And just like when I watched Race to Witch Mountain with him in it, this one ended up, I saw the terrible reviews, but I really thought it was a lot of fun. And I think people if you just don't look at the reviews, just go in with, this is a new kind of story, and it's just meant to be a fun story the family can enjoy. And once you kind of let go of all of the noise, it is a lot of fun. I thought some of the references on different Christmas traditions all over the world was a lot of fun. And the snowman, I thought that was cool. I never heard of the villain and who the villain is. But, and that must be in some kind of probably Norwegian tradition or something. Which I thought was really kind of cool. The other kind of German thing that comes up. But let me tell you something. If you like eye candy for the ladies and some men, this is the movie for you, because this is the finest Christmas cast I ever seen. But what's going on with J.K. Simmons? use The Rock's trainer to get in like redonkulous shape because this dude is jacked. And it's good to see.
He really is.
You know, it's a lot of it. I was smiling and laughing and having a good time, which I bet Tim Windsor, our buddy, is too. So definitely for David and I, we say, Pat, I think you didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but from us, it's a thumbs up. And a great way to start off the holiday season. We will be reviewing holiday movies each week until the end of December. So look out for those coming up. So let's next take a big old shift and check out the August Wilson adaptation from the Denzel Washington's whole family, The Piano Lesson. Let's take a peek.
That piano is the story of our whole family. And that's why Bernice ain't gonna sell that piano. 'Cause her daddy died over it.
I don't play on that piano, 'cause I don't want to wake them spirits.
You feel that? That's your family. That's your blood.
Wow. Powerful movie. Patrick, what did you think of The Piano Lesson?
You know, it was surprising. It was surprising on several levels. I suspected, I should say, it was going to be good. I came in with the expectation it would be good, and it was. It was very good. As you know, it's major players, talent in there, the direction. Man, like you said, Denzel's got his whole family in it. But you know, lots of front end talent, you know, put into this. But it was surprising, and it was a little bit more supernatural than I really thought it was going to be. I was just expecting more of a history story, you know, which is pretty typical when they do those kind of stories. It feels like, you know, here's the history of our family, and this is why piano is so important. But this one had this supernatural element, which I found was, like I said, really surprising to me. I really enjoyed it. I was going to watch this before you suggested it, and so here we are. I got to watch something I wanted to watch while talking about it. So here we are.
Here we go with the yearly battle. It has begun. All right, David, what did you think of the Piano Lesson?
Who could you be talking about right now, Pam? With that,
I don't know.
Little catch there. Who could you be talking about? You know, and I was surprised thinking about, you know, like the holidays. I wasn't familiar with the play before, so I had a chance after I watched to kind of read up a little bit more on the story and the background and kind of its place in 20th century literature and theater. Really well done. This to me would have been a great story. I know it obviously just has come out, but man, what a great story to have had at Halloween, because that was not something I was really expecting. I think it did a very nice job of going from a play, and again, I haven't seen the play, but you know, I'm trying to watch it from that lens here. I think that, you know, as a film, I thought it was good and tremendous cast. There is something to be said, I think, with if things had just been on a stage. Obviously, we had more, and you know, with a film, you can do more and extend. But I think there's some aspects of the claustrophobic nature of a set of a play. I think it would have been fascinating to have seen it just filmed as a play version myself, just to kind of compare and contrast. But enjoyed it. A little spooky in places. I was surprised about that. And again, very strong performances. So I think people should really take a chance and see this. They won't be disappointed.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the supernatural element also were metaphors for the Black experience in America too. And I think this was, some of August Wilson's work I haven't enjoyed being movies made into movies. But this is part of his Century collection where he did a play for every decade of the 20th century. And this was surprisingly good. Like you all said, the supernatural element is in there, but it's very meaningful about why it's in there. And I think that the story is very rich and very revealing. And what some people don't know is the watermelons that feature very prominently in here. Some people are, I don't want to eat watermelons. Well, watermelon was a big cash crop for African Americans back in the day, is how many were able to support themselves and their families. So it's a very important means of commerce for us. So that was interesting. And I think that August Wilson's stories, this is one of the better one. Actually, Denzel Washington's son co-wrote the story at the adaptation. And I'm like, where has Malcolm been? I haven't heard much from him, but man, he came out with a force and was just fantastic. And because these are adapted from plays, I agree with David that sometimes that intensity you get from the stage, when it's broadened to a camera lens, you kind of miss some of that. But I think the actors and John David Wilson's voice, at times, if you close your eyes or you're doing something away, you would swear it's Denzel Washington. They have the same kind of timbre to their voice, and his acting has really come up. And that's what I'm really appreciating. And Danielle Deadwyler, she was in The Harder They Come and some other movies, but she is amazing. I'm looking for an Oscar nomination for her. And of course, Samuel L. Jackson is fantastic. So it all around just excellent work. And Denzel behind the camera. And I think we'll see more of him producing and directing. He said this next decade before he retires. And I'm sure looking forward to that. So definitely, I think check out The Piano Lesson on Netflix. I think we all agree it's fantastic. All right, and finally, the intensity of Dune Prophecy. Let's take a look.
How could something like this happen?
Killed just before the royal wedding. That's no coincidence. That's an assassination.
First your men on Arrakis, now a death as you arrive here at the palace.
You made your feelings regarding Perret Richese and the wedding very clear.
No. I did not intend to kill that boy.
But you wanted me to.
Guards! Arrest him!
Desmond Hart. Who are you?
Really?
Nothing but a soldier of the Imperium.
Oh, come now. You're more than that.
There are things that I can do. Beautiful. Terrible things. Why not let me show you how I would humble those who try to take from you? Or sway you with corrupt counsel.
Man, oh man. David, what did you think of this episode? The two
very intense. This is very intense. You got to really watch it closely. There's so many pieces here. Like the other HBO show, Game of Thrones, we've got the political intrigue and the different groups kind of in their chess matches here. Powerful stuff. It'd be interesting to see how long the Emperor stays the Emperor. I'm without any knowledge of anything. My prop bet is that he becomes a puppet in short order with things out of his control, with forces he doesn't understand. Really, just a neat story in the Dune world that we've seen in the last two movies. And I'm here with the popcorn, and I'm ready to keep watching. This is good stuff.
Yeah, Patrick, what'd you think?
Okay, I didn't. I was on last week, so I didn't get to talk about the previous episode. But I'm enjoying this foundation of the Bene Gesserit. It's interesting to see where they came from. This week, and I'm trying to go at this with the most open mind I can, because I really love the original books that Frank Herbert did. This was, I believe, his son Brian Herbert did a lot of the work, the books and source material they're coming off of this with. So, not as great. It's kind of like Christopher Tolkien doing J.R.R. Tolkien's, staying on the gravestone of their fathers and making a name for themselves, which is a little cringy for me, but. The new character they brought in, with the new special powers and stuff, which I would think something like that would have came up in the three books if there was some sort of a canonical basis for this. But things get lost to time. This is a long period before, but the Bene Gesserit, that's what they do. They keep track of stuff. That's their whole mission. They're catching all these genetic lines, trying to breed the Kwisatz Haderach, that you see in the Dune movies. That was the whole end game, what they were going for, so they could get someone, to bring peace to the universe, basically. So I don't know. Yeah, sure, it's a great plot twist. I'm not sure, or plot device, I should say, not a twist. But interesting to see where it goes. I'm enjoying it. Special effects are on point. The performances are all really good. This is as good as what I saw in the movies, as far as special effects. So that's saying something. So, I'm gonna hang in there for it. I love the world, the world building that Frank Herbert did with Arrakis and the Imperium and all the houses and all the stuff. So he's got some good solid bases to go with. So let's just see where it goes. I'm not sure. I'm still not really committed to a lot of the characters, so it's just like Game of Thrones when you first started watching it. It was, okay, but they got you really early that first episode and really sunk you in. So this one hasn't quite set the bar quite so deeply. So I'm interested. I'll stick it out because like I said, I do like the property. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm really enjoying it. But what I find fascinating is, and I don't know if this is something about our times, to where I think a few years ago there would not have been the addition of this character. But now I feel like in these last few years that this kind of patriarchal character that's coming to destroy the women might be a sign of the times. And that women's agency is being threatened. Okay, so that's just kind of like, if this is a metaphor for our times, that part it makes it more intriguing to me, especially since it's not in the original text. So it's a question of, why did they bring in this character? Because the Bene Gesserit alone are such a fascinating sisterhood, and their manipulations are amazing when they start talking about what all they've done in just these few years. If you think about it, from the first episode, when her and Tula were young, until now, what, maybe 20 years later, maybe 25 years later, how they've been able to infiltrate all of these important houses and situations, and playing both sides against one another, is really cool. And the acting in this is just stellar. Even Travis Flamel, who's playing the antagonist, is, so deliciously sly, and you don't know what he's about. You're like trying to figure out, really, what is up with this guy? Why is he doing this? and so it's an interesting mystery about his character. But I also really love Emily Watson and Olivia Williams and their interaction as sisters, but also how they're running the Bene Gesserit. And the final scene of Emily Watson against Travis Flamel's character, man, that was some cold. That was a cold blooded scene, right? I was like, oh boy, she's gonna really end up having a good fight on her hands. And but I thought one of the funny scenes to me, maybe it wasn't intentional, but it was like, that's hilarious, is when the daughter of Rachesi and the son of Javaco got together, and they're both trying to trick each other with trying to use sex to manipulate the other. And it backfires. And that was just hilarious to me, that, oh, I'm gonna go in here and seduce her, and she's gonna give up the information, and I'm gonna go in and seduce him, and he's gonna give me the information. Checkmate to her, because she won.
Which is a real theme. Yeah, that's a kind of a real theme actually in Dune for the most part, is the Bene Gesserits. They control, they run things. So there might be what you're saying there in terms of some of the sign of the times, but that's that story, a tale as old as time. The pretty girl can get to say or do pretty much anything that she wants. That does seem to be that's true to life. It's true to the future. But let me ask you guys this question, because this is the part that stood out to me. You mentioned it, so it's kind of we're talking a little spoiler here. The fact that the voice didn't work on this guy, does that speak to kind of breaking canon? And is that a problem?
No, I don't think
yes
so.
And no.
Because, what's his name? It didn't work on in the Dune movies. It didn't work on what's his name? The Timothy Chalamet.
It didn't work on Paul, but Paul is.
Yeah, it didn't work on
Paul.
Paul.
It did, but by the time he was old.
In the books, the voice has to be based on the practitioner or the Bene Gesserit, who's trying to do the voice commands. They have to get a range on the person. They have to figure out what part of their psyche, and how to pitch the particular voice, because everybody's got their own specific voice in order for it to make it an imperious command, rather than just a suggestion or a weird talking thing. So maybe she didn't have enough of a register on this individual in order to make it sync. So it doesn't go against canon, and it could make sense because, he didn't talk a ton when she was trying to use the voice on him. But the fact that it slipped off, and that she's the Mother Superior and she should be the most proficient in the voice, I would suspect, would indicate that perhaps it's not working the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. And in the movie, remember when they were on the helicopter captured, and they tried to use it on the guys at first and it didn't work. And then she made it work and then manipulated the guys to doing what she wanted. So, yeah, I think there are cases, like Pat said, that the voice isn't foolproof. It's always something that can happen. You have to have it just right.
Well, but again, with Paul, he was still in training, so there was that. But then again, a Mother Superior. So, but nonetheless, it was there. There is some credence to it. These are great points you're pointing out. But it is an interesting little. Ooh, the Force doesn't work on this one.
Right. So I'm hoping that they go more into the intrigue of, also, another Atreides makes an appearance. So I was like, oh snap. So that was really interesting too. So it's a lot of storylines, but I'm glad because they seem to really connect them, so you're not caught out there with, oh wow, what's this about? So great, right? And the production values, my goodness, looks gorgeous. And did you catch when Tula was making the Rosak poison? The color of it was the same as the water of life. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that's some kind of also connection there.
It is the truth sayer drug in the books is a poison that the mother, the many Josephs become Reverend Mothers, transmuted into a non-poisonous entity, which that's part of their whole training thing, and that's why Paul is so special. He was the first male to be able to do that. But yes, it's really similar to the water of life from drowning in the small makers versus the truth sayer poison, which they were able to then transmute into something else.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh, look, it's the same stuff. So definitely a cool show. You can catch little kind of Easter eggs in there. And definitely it's going to be an interesting ride. I really love it so far. And I think we all agree. Keep watching Dune Prophecy. All right, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with the next episode of Dune Prophecy, as well as our Christmas movie, Nutcrackers. I think it's on Hulu. And then it's here, the latest Star Wars movie series we've been waiting on, Skeleton Crew. And check out our trailer reaction on that on our Pajama Life channel. And David, say goodnight to the people.
Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Wherever you are, as you're watching this, stay warm and be with those people that you care the most about. So long, everybody. Be safe.
Patrick, say goodnight to the people.
Good night to the people. I had to say it. You told me to. So, but everybody have a good. Hopefully, you're all having a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Even worse, I'd say anymore because I'm doing it all over the place. Anyway, so everybody, be careful. Be safe. See you next week.
And stay with us every night in December. We will be reviewing our diverse holiday movies. So come back, check that out, as well as our annual Aldi Wine Advent Calendar reviews. So we look forward to that. Come back and watch our reviews in our channel and share this review with someone you love. We'll see you next time. Take care.